"I am just a sketch," the train whispered. Its voice was not metal scraping metal, but charcoal brushing paper, soft, erasable, unsure. Lines trembled along its edges. Rivets faded into suggestion. Smoke curled upward but did not decide whether it wanted to exist. "I was drawn too soon," the train murmured. "I want to go back." The world around it flickered in sympathy. The mountains loosened, their ridges dissolving into faint strokes that quivered like half-remembered dreams. Forest outlines quaked, needles and branches unforming into pale, indecisive smudges. Even the sign outside the window, "Welcome to elsewhere, population, becoming," lost its lettering. Letters lifted off the wood like startled birds returning to the sky. Inside the compartment, Bob the cat blinked once when he opened his eyes. The seat beneath him was only a rectangle, a geometric placeholder, hovering between existence and intent. Anya's golden thread dimmed, unspooling in reverse, rewinding into her palm until there was no glow left between them. The girl herself wavered. Her dress turned simpler, then softer, then lighter, until she was no more than curved pencil lines sliding backward into blankness. "I am just a sketch," the train repeated, its voice trembling with graphite dust. "I am not ready for what I showed you. I want to erase the chapter before it becomes real." The wheels dissolved first, then the tracks, then the shape of the engine softened from form into faint contour, into ghost, into nothing. Time itself paused in the stillness. The train whispered one more thing, barely audible. "If I unmake myself, does the past unmake with me? Or do I only leave you stranded in a half-drawn world?" No one answered. The cat was gone. The girl was gone. Even the light had erased itself, and so the train inhaled not to breathe, but to unsay everything it had ever spoken. For a moment, all of elsewhere returned to a single blank page before it had a shape, before it had wheels or windows or the illusion of a destination. The train existed only as a possibility. It was not yet a train at all, but a feeling of motion, suspended in nothingness. A hum without a source, a rhythm with no track to belong to. A quiet pulse traveling through unshaped space, searching for a form. The way a story searches for its first true sentence, it drifted. But drifting meant nothing then. There was no forward, because forward did not exist. There was no backward, because time had not begun. There was only the soft, borderless field of things that might someday be. Elsewhere sensed it, not as metal or machinery, but as an echo of movement, a whisper of arrival, a promise waiting to be noticed. The land, such as it was, stirred, unborn hills shivered, like sleepers feeling footsteps outside a dream. Clouds gathered themselves into vague shapes, foggy and indecisive, as if they wanted to look down upon something, but did not yet know what. A corridor opened in the blankness, not a track, but the suggestion of one, a thin invitation stretching through the void at that moment. The train realized something startling. It did not need to be real in order to be expected. The sheer weight of expectation began to sculpt it. Outlines appeared, faint as pencil marks, a curved hint of an engine. The ghost of a window frame, the delicately imagined shadow of a lantern. These details formed not because the train created itself, but because someone somewhere was beginning to imagine it still. It hesitated. "I am not ready," it whispered, in a voice made of unfinished thoughts. "I do not know my story. I do not know who will ride me. I do not know where I am meant to go." and in the soft spaciousness of elsewhere, a quiet answer came. You do not need to know. You only need to be imagined.